Hi there guys, welcome back to the Farrington channel, and in today's video I'm going to be going over my Dero mining earnings, and I'm also going to be going over what my plans are going forward in the future. Also, I'll be showing you guys the new CPU that I've just purchased and the equipment that I'm going to go forward with it as well. So guys, it was only today that I realised actually how I can actually check the stats of my mining farm for Dero. So all you need to do is pop it in your wallet address and then the last 3 digits of your last, one of your last withdrawals. So I've gone ahead and done that. And as you can see here, it shows up my 3 workers that I've got at the moment, and it also shows you the average hash rate as well that I'm pushing at the moment. So at the moment guys, I do plan on purchasing more and more components when it comes to CPU mining. I have received some comments as well where a few people are I don't know if it's they're either worried or they don't understand how if they purchase CPU, how could they make the money back, or where is the ROI. And the truth is, there probably isn't going to be an ROI when it comes to CPU mining. With my first year's worth of, CPU mining, I've made nothing at all. Mined Raptarium completely, put it into inodes, and then the market crashed and completely lost out on there. Still hold the coins, so fingers crossed for the future. And I've seen many comments before where it says most people are just waiting for some sort of pump or some sort of coin to make a movement, which a lot of us are doing. We're all waiting for something to happen. But for myself, I have recently purchased a new CPU, and I've also purchased a motherboard as well, so I will be increasing my hash rate going forward. But as I was trying to explain, where there isn't much ROI. What my plan is really to do is to mine with these, and then accumulate the coins, and then maybe in the future I can either build a computer, or I can sell the CPU back on and make just as much as I actually physically spent out for it. The electric cost itself isn't that bad because I do have a Pacific rate where I'm able to rotate it at a lower cost. And then also the biggest factor is as well, like once you put one of these CPUs into one of your computers, that makes a full computer itself. So then if you've checked out the description, I've got those passive incomes, so those use your bandwidth, and it doesn't affect anything to do with your mining. So if you've got all those bandwidth sharing apps running on your computer at the exact same time, and then you've got all multiple different rigs doing that, you're able to accumulate yourself a lot more money from your mining. So there's a lot more little devices and little things that you can look into that can make your return on investment worth more of your time. I wouldn't ever say that you're gonna go out your way to make the actual money back on your CPU mining, but to be fair, when it's coming to the amount of hash rate that I've got at the moment, I think it's about 9 point something kilohash. I'm making, give or take, around about, let's have a look what I got on here before. Let's go on Dero, see what the last one was. So that was yesterday, so I got 0.23. And let's just check this in and see exactly how much that I made. So 95 cents. So like I say, it's not the most profitable thing in the world, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the CPU that I've bought, and then I'm also going to show you the motherboard that I've bought as well, and I'm going to explain you through how and I hope to potentially maybe make something back from this. So for myself, I like to keep my setups nice and small, nice and cheap, nothing too expensive or anything like that. All of the CPUs that I have at the moment is just as nice and cheap as this, and I like to buy them second hand so I can get the most out of it when it comes into the long run, especially when it tries to come back and get my money back from what I've put into it. So for this specific CPU, it's the Ryzen 7 3800X. Now, if I'm correct, I think that this does maybe about like 4.5 to maybe 4.6 kilohash on like Monero and even Dero that I'm currently using at the moment with the Ryzen 7 3700X. So I already know that this CPU itself is a pretty good CPU. It does get pretty warm, but I didn't want to jump up to get the Ryzen 9 or anything like that. As much as I do want it, I don't want to waste that type of money at this specific point. So I'd rather keep things cheap and simple, so I don't have to overspend. And then what I've done as well is I've gone ahead and bought myself a motherboard here, so a MSI A320M. So fingers crossed, and once this comes here, I'll be setting this up with a power supply that I've got just laying around, and I've also got a couple RAMs, a couple DDR4 sticks of RAM laying around as well. Now I understand for quite a lot of people you probably don't have those things laying around, but like I say, I've been doing this for a while and I've always been accumulating and saving all the parts and pieces for my rig, so I'll have them ready to go. I'll probably be doing the exact same thing as most of the other YouTubes that I've seen before, where they'll like Brandon Cohen, where he just throws on top of his box and then sets it up that way. That's probably what I'm going to do for the first thing. I did go ahead as well and bought myself a nice little shelving rack as well, just to throw that onto there. Like I say, some of these things, like I say, they do start to creep upon and trying to make things out of your out your pocket. But for myself, what I actually did was to purchase these items here is I just accumulated the money myself in the best way that I could, and then reinvested that back into it. So use things such as like Nexo to make my money back on my everything that I do earn on mining, and then also as well, I'll use the money that I've earned from the bandwidth sharing. And like I say, guys, this does start to accumulate. Check out the peer to profit, check out the honey gain, check out earn app. Those are things that are just down below in the description. They do make you money, and some of these you do start up with, they give you like free $5 and things like that for when you start up. For like this motherboard that's here specifically, I actually did like a Lynx shower gel survey, and I got a free £15 GBP Amazon gift card. And then there was also, I signed up just for a company that I was putting some trades, some stocks and shares and things like that I was buying in, and I think the company was called Goodfolio. I signed up to them and gave them an email because the sign up error, they didn't give me the bonus when I was supposed to sign up, and then they sent me a £40 Amazon gift card, so for their own error, which is lovely of them. And like I say, this sort of stuff I'm putting towards this, and I'm and I'm getting items out of it. So it's sometimes when it comes down to building these rigs, to be fair, I probably could have got it cheaper there from looking at it, but as you can see, if you utilize your money, the things that you get, and then you put it into getting something else, it looks so much more better, instead of wasting your money on what a lot of people wasted on, like food or other things like that. Don't get me wrong, guys, I can afford to feed myself and stuff like that, but make sure if you're going to waste your money and you waste it into parts, pieces, equipment and things like that over a period of time, that stuff's going to start to accumulate. And then when you do get to the point of setting off, you're probably going to have a lot more savings than you would having it burned away in the actual bank account. So as I say, these are the parts and pieces that I've bought. I will leave a link for these in the description. Like I say, you can go ahead and purchase them if you'd like to get yourself the same setup. As I say, for the Ryzen, make sure, guys, that when you do try to buy things, make sure you always are trying to get a deal, because this was supposed to be about £175 to buy. I got it for 150 plus the postage. If I go on eBay, I'm normally seeing these go for around about 200 to around about 180 at the cheapest that I've seen it sell for. So really try to grab yourself a steal, because that makes like I said, I'm putting the quotation marks of fingers, your ROI. Like I said, there isn't really much ROI when it comes to CPU mining at the moment. We don't know whether what's going to happen in the future, of course, but fingers crossed it does happen. I'm the kind of person that's probably kind of addicted into crypto mining, and I have a belief because I'm so drawn into it, and I'm doing it every single day, and I'm always tweaking my cards and always tweaking my settings and things like that. So that's what I want to do. So I am going to make this build my rack up and get it going a little bit better, instead of just using just solely GPUs, because the electric rate is so high in this country. I'll be cutting off the GPUs and I'll be focusing on CPU mining, just purely on the fact that they run on a lot less wattage. And then at this specific moment as well, I mean, I'm happy to make 95 cents from the setup that I've got. I've only got one Ryzen 5 2600, I've got one Ryzen 5 I think 3200, I'm not sure, and then I've got a Ryzen 7 2700X. And like I said, this is the Ryzen, that whole setup there is making 95 cents. So if I add this to it, I'm probably going to make a give or take probably $1.50 to maybe $1.60 a day. I guess I will show you guys how it goes, and that's at today's current standard. And I've got to wait a couple of days for this setup. The markets can change. Dero could completely go down or up, who knows, but fingers crossed for Dero, because like I say, I am enjoying using them at the moment and the community does seem lovely. So fingers crossed that the profits do stay exactly as they are, and we can keep going at that exact same rate as well. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you guys have any plans to increase your CPU mining rigs, or whether you guys are purchasing anything new for yours. and let me know what you think about me buying mine. Do you think it's a worthwhile idea, or do you think it's stupid? Let me know. Like I say, I do feel a bit of like an addiction towards it, so I do want to keep increasing my rigs and making as much of that I can do from it, and keep increasing the hash rate. So that's something that I enjoy doing. But like I said, let me know what your opinions are down in the comments, and also as well, if you guys would like to see me build these rigs up or even set them up, then definitely make sure to drop that in the comments and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.